What if I told you that the biggest reason you are not wealthy has nothing to do with how much money you earn? Not your job, not your background, not even your opportunities, it is your mindset right now. There are people earning average salaries who are quietly becoming rich, and at the same time, there are people making huge incomes who are constantly stressed, broke, and stuck in a cycle they cannot escape. So what is really going on here? Most people believe money is the key to wealth. They think if they could just earn more, everything would fall into place. Life would be easier. Stress would disappear. Freedom would finally arrive. But reality tells a very different story. We see celebrities earning millions and still going bankrupt. We see lottery winners losing everything within a few years. We see professionals with high-paying jobs living paycheck to paycheck at the same time. There are individuals who never earn massive incomes, but still manage to build lasting wealth over time. This creates a powerful question. If money alone does not create wealth, then what does? The answer lies in something far less visible, but far more powerful. Psychology. The way you think about money shapes every financial decision you make. It influences how you spend, how you save, how you invest, and how you react to success and failure. And the truth is, most people have never been taught how to think about money correctly. They are taught how to earn, but not how to manage, not how to grow, not how to stay consistent, so they repeat the same patterns over and over again without realizing it. And that is why today, we are not just talking about money, we are diving deep into the psychology behind wealth. Because once you understand this, everything changes. Here is where most people get it completely wrong. They believe that building wealth is simply about earning more money, so they spend years chasing higher salaries, better jobs, and bigger opportunities. They think that once they reach a certain income level, all their financial problems will disappear, but that almost never happens. Instead, something unexpected takes place as income increases. Expenses increase to. This is known as lifestyle inflation. The more people earn, the more they feel justified spending. A better phone, a bigger house, more dining out, more travel. It feels like progress, but in reality, it keeps them in the same financial position. They are running faster, but not moving forward. Another major problem is short-term thinking. Most people are wired to seek immediate rewards. They want results now. They want to enjoy today without thinking deeply about tomorrow. So they prioritize spending over investing, comfort over discipline, instant pleasure over long-term gain. This mindset quietly destroys the possibility of building real wealth. Then comes fear. People are afraid of losing money, so they avoid investing altogether. They keep their savings in safe places that barely grow, or they delay learning about money because it feels complicated or risky. But what they do not realize is that avoiding risk is actually a bigger risk. Because over time, inflation reduces the value of their money, and they fall behind without even noticing. And finally, there is comparison. People constantly compare their lives to others. They see expensive lifestyles online and assume that is what success looks like. So they try to match it, even if it means spending beyond their means. But most of what they are seeing is not wealth. It is consumption. This creates a dangerous illusion. Instead of building assets, people focus on appearances. And that is why so many people stay stuck. Not because they lack money, but because they follow the wrong financial psychology. Now let's break this down in a simple way. The psychology of wealth is not complicated, but it requires a shift in how you think. The first shift is long-term thinking. Wealthy people do not focus on what feels good today. They focus on what will matter years from now. Before making a financial decision, they ask themselves a simple question. Will this help me grow, or will this hold me back? This mindset alone separates them from most people. The second shift is delayed gratification. This means choosing discipline over comfort. Instead of spending every extra dollar, wealthy individuals invest it. They understand that money has the ability to grow over time, but only if they give it the chance. They are willing to wait. And this is where compounding begins to work. Small amounts invested, consistently, can turn into something massive over time, but only if you stay patient. The third shift is emotional control. Money decisions are often emotional. People panic when markets fall and get excited when prices rise. They follow trends. They react without thinking. Wealthy individuals do the opposite. They stay calm during uncertainty. They stick to their strategy. They do not let fear or excitement control their actions because they understand that emotional decisions often lead to poor outcomes. The fourth shift is focusing on assets. Instead of spending money on things that lose value, they prioritize buying things that generate income or grow over time. Investments, businesses, and productive assets come first. Lifestyle upgrades come later. And finally, they understand leverage. They do not rely only on their time and effort. They use systems, investments, and opportunities to multiply their results. In simple terms, they make their money work for them. These shifts may sound small, but together they create a completely different financial future. And once you start thinking this way, your relationship with money begins to change. The wealth mindset vs. the poor mindset. Let's go deeper into something very important. There is a clear difference between how wealthy people think and how most people think, not just in actions, but in mindset. Let's compare. Most people think in terms of scarcity. They believe money is limited. They think if someone else becomes rich, it means less for them. They feel that opportunities are rare, and success is reserved for a select few. This creates fear. When you think in scarcity, you hold back. You avoid risks. You hesitate to invest. You become overly cautious, and sometimes you miss opportunities, simply because you are afraid of losing what you already have. Wealthy people think differently. They think in terms of abundance. That they believe there are always opportunities. They believe money can be created, multiplied, and expanded. They understand that value creation is the real path to wealth. This mindset removes fear. Instead of asking, "What if I lose money?" they ask, "What can I gain from this opportunity?" That small shift changes everything. Another difference is control. People with a poor mindset often feel like money controls them. Bills come in, expenses pile up, and they feel trapped. They live reactively, always trying to catch up. Wealthy individuals, on the other hand, aim to control their money. They give every dollar a job. They plan their finances intentionally. They decide where their money goes before it decides for them. This creates structure and stability. Then there is responsibility. Many people blame external factors for their financial situation: the economy, their salary, their circumstances. But wealthy people take responsibility. They understand that while they cannot control everything, they can control their decisions, and those decisions determine their financial outcome. Finally, there is focus. Most people focus on saving money. Wealthy people focus on growing money. They understand that while saving is important, it is not enough to build real wealth. Growth requires investing, learning, and taking calculated risks. So when you combine all of this, you start to see the real difference. It is not about intelligence. It is not about luck. It is about mindset. And once you understand these differences, you can begin to shift your own thinking step by step. Because the moment your mindset changes, your financial future begins to change too. Let's make this real with an example. Consider Warren Buffett. Buffett is one of the wealthiest people in the world. But what makes him fascinating is not just how much money he has, it is how he thinks about money. He did not become wealthy by chasing trends or trying to get rich quickly. In fact, he started investing at a very young age and focused on one simple idea: patience. Instead of constantly buying and selling, Buffett invested in strong businesses and held on to them for years, sometimes even decades. He allowed time to do the heavy lifting. This is the power of long-term thinking. While others were looking for fast profits, Buffett was focused on building sustainable wealth. Another important example is Charlie Munger, Buffett's longtime partner. Munger often talks about how wealth is built through simple habits and rational thinking. He emphasizes avoiding mistakes, staying disciplined, and thinking clearly under pressure. Together, Buffett and Munger built their wealth not through complexity, but through consistency. They did not chase hype. They did not let emotions control their decisions. They stayed committed to their strategy, even when others doubted them. And this is the key point. Their success was not just about picking the right investments. It was about having the right mindset. Now compare this to the average person. Most people want quick returns. They jump from one idea to another. They react to news. They try to time the market. They get scared when prices drop. This leads to inconsistent decisions and missed opportunities. Meanwhile, Buffett and Munger stayed patient, focused, and disciplined for decades. The result? Massive, compounding wealth. This shows that the real difference between wealthy people and everyone else is not intelligence or luck, it is psychology. The way they think leads to the way they act, and the way they act determines their financial future. So what is the real lesson here? Wealth is not just about money, it is about mindset, behavior, and consistency. If you want to build wealth, you cannot rely on earning alone. You need to focus on how you think about money and how you act with it every single day. First, start thinking long-term. Every financial decision should be guided by one question: will this help me in the future? If the answer is yes, you move forward. If not, you pause and reconsider. This simple habit can change your entire financial path. Second, practice patience. We live in a world that rewards speed, but wealth is built slowly. You will not become rich overnight, and trying to rush the process often leads to mistakes. Instead, focus on consistency. Small steps taken regularly will always outperform random big moves. Third, control your emotions. Money will test you. Markets will rise and fall. Opportunities will come and go. If you let fear or excitement control your decisions, you will struggle, but if you stay calm and stick to your plan, you gain an advantage that most people never develop. Fourth, prioritize assets over appearance. It is easy to spend money to look successful, but real wealth is built when you use money to create more money. Invest in things that grow. Avoid unnecessary liabilities. Build a foundation first, then enjoy the results later. And finally, accept that wealth is a process. It takes time, discipline, and repetition. There are no shortcuts that replace consistent action. The truth is, anyone can build wealth if they are willing to think differently and act accordingly. You do not need to be perfect. You just need to be consistent, because in the end, wealth is not about what you earn once, it is about what you do repeatedly over time. And that is something you can start changing today. If you want to truly understand how money works, and more importantly, how to build real wealth step by step, then you need to keep learning. Because everything we talked about today is just the beginning. Most people go their entire lives without understanding the psychology behind money. They focus on earning, but never on thinking. They focus on working harder, but never on working smarter with their decisions. And that is why they stay stuck. But you are different. By watching this video, you have already taken the first step toward changing your financial mindset. Now the key is to continue, learn, apply, and stay consistent. Start noticing your own habits. How do you react when you get money? Do you spend immediately, or do you think about investing it? Do you plan for the future, or focus only on the present? These small questions lead to big changes over time. Because wealth is not built in one moment. It is built through repeated behavior. And the more you understand this, the more control you gain over your financial future. If you found value in this video, make sure to subscribe to the Geeky Investor. Here, we break down money, investing, and wealth in a simple and practical way. No confusion, no complicated jargon, just clear ideas that you can actually use. And remember this, wealth is not about luck, it is about thinking differently, and once your thinking changes, everything else will follow.